be live on Facebook too, right? Let's see. I'm gonna look.
Yeah. So, hello, and we are live.
Hi, yeah, we are
We
live.
are live, and I'm so excited. I just even went on Instagram really quick and did a quick little um video saying like, "Come join us." Da-da-da-da-da-da-da, sha-na-na-na-na. Oh, and there's like this thing here. Um, let's see, go back to banners. I'm trying to get back to comments. So once people are on here, we should be able to see comments once people
Yes,
are saying, "Hey."
I'm looking for us right now. Reason why I'm looking down is I'm looking at your Facebook page and seeing if I can see it.
It
I
should
don't.
go to my it should go to my light language Dina page. I don't know. Do you follow my light language Dina page?
Oh no, I don't know if I do.
Oh.
Language, Tina. Gotta do
Let's
it
see.
right now.
Yeah, because I have multiple identities. I'm not even seeing it there yet either. So, isn't that funny? But now you know about it. I have solely Dina. For those of you who don't know, I have solely Dina, and there's a story for that. I don't see it yet. But it took me a minute last time to find it when we were going live. And, we can always just kind of get right into it, but we'll have a moment of saying, hey. Oh, you know what? I know that we're in LinkedIn. I feel like we're already in LinkedIn.
Okay, so you know what? I found you, but I'm not gonna focus on that anymore. It's gonna be with
No. Oh, I can view on LinkedIn.
okay.
Okay. But I don't want to mess that up. So people just gotta the hi. If you can say who you are because I can't see names here. There's that thing where they do like permission. But hello. So I'm so excited and grateful to introduce Kellie Walsh.
Mhm.
We've been oh my god, connecting since when?
Since
Was it
August.
August?
Since August, since
August?
the soul alchemy retreat that we did in
Yeah.
August, and that's when we met, which was
Oh,
me.
hi, Tracy. Yeah, so we met my sister, Deborah. Um, my sister Deborah insisted vehemently, hi Tracy, vehemently. Oh, hi Margaret. That okay, let me get this out of my mind. So I want to just say, Margaret, she had me on for one of my first introduction, like spotlight, LinkedIn lives, like I'm doing with you. So I'm now spotlighting Kellie.
Excellent.
So we're doing a spotlighting Kellie. So Kellie and I met at her Soul Alchemy retreat, which was at her retreat space in Saugerties, New York.
Hmm.
It's really beautiful and really sacred and divine. And it was a 3-day retreat that my sister insisted I go to. I mean, my sister sends me stuff, but like your events, she's like, you got to meet Kellie. You got to meet Kellie. You got to go to this. You got to go to this. And I was like, I don't know. So I finally, it was like towards the end, like the last week, she's like, Dina, I really think you need to just call Kellie and have a conversation. And so you and I got on the phone and it was like, boom. It was as if, would you say, we've always known each other?
Yes, yes, and the light language was flying, and we were speaking human, and we were speaking our light language, and we were speaking dragon, and I was speaking my galactic language, and it was just really great. And it's we always talk about light language, and I have to say you're one of the I know many people, but the way you just bubble over with light language all the time. You're just I think you've inspired me to just have like daily dialogues with myself in light language. And so yeah, so it was really amazing to finally meet you and be part of that incredible retreat that we
Oh,
had. Yeah.
Well, I gotta tell everyone, like, I got to be there for Saturday night into Sunday. And Kelly's like, you gotta be there for Saturday night. I just feel like you gotta be there for Saturday night. And I was like, okay. So I got there for Saturday night, and it was the other amazing woman, Angel, um, that did this amazing guided meditation activation that I had this like amazing experience with. Like, I had such visuals during this guided meditation activation. And it was really like the vision of me being there again and doing like me channeling there. And then like and then Kelly and I were talking like, yeah, let's collaborate. Let's collaborate. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then next day, so Sunday, so Kelly offers these soul portraits that are a combination of kind. I'm sure you're gonna have your version of this, but from my experience was you had me pull two cards, and then you tuned in to see what exactly I needed to receive, and then you took me through a guided meditation activation with a light language. And then once you brought me into this space of like embodiment of like who I really am as a soul, then you started to photograph me and guided me. And so that was like this infusion of the soul portrait, which is not just any photograph, but it was so amazing. And it was like I felt like so
Seen.
yeah, and so just alive, like just so it was like I never felt the way that I felt in a photo session ever before. So and I was able to just visualize and feel and just be like really embodied like who I am as a soul, like so empowered.
Yeah.
And I was like, so for me, so that was like, okay, yeah. And so then we met up, and now we're started talking about, our event, which we will share about. And I was like, you have to meet my people in LinkedIn. So
That's
here
right.
we are. Hi, everyone. And so I want you to share a little bit about you, Kelly.
Yes. Okay. So, beautiful description of soul journey portrait. It is really, really an alchemy of me being. I've been a professional photographer my whole life since I started when I was like 18 years old, and it's just been something that I've always, I picked up a camera and I felt like it was an extension of who I am, even before, and I've always been spiritually minded, spiritually awake. Even in, I've been writing a journal since 1997. I can't believe it's been that long. I'm like, my office is like covered with journals because I'm trying to rewrite them and put them in some kind of something. And so I've always kind of been a photographer. And then I had a reading with this amazing woman, Mikhail Sheldon, probably 5, maybe 7 years ago. And she's like, you're a channeler. And I knew I was a channeler. Like, I always felt like I was a channeler. When I'm in my meditations, I receive so much downloads and writings and information, and that's what base my journals on. But then, she really put it in a beautiful way of reframing it, that like, no, you're a seer and you've always been a seer. And even as you did photography before you started to infuse your spiritual sight as well as my physical sight. So she kind of planted the seeds for like a soul journey portrait. And as I've been doing them now, probably especially the last 2 years, very consistently, I have always wanted to do that meditation to bring you to a certain place. But the meditation and my channeling and my ability to connect to the Galactic Akash records has really, really kind of gone on steroids, full force, So like, the journeys that I take these people, because I've always done the guided meditations for groups, but I've never done one-on-one. But so this like soul portraits allows me to do that one-on-one activation. And then I can bring in the photography, which becomes, like, I always like to say, it's like the photograph, the print is like a talisman. It becomes kind of like, did you get yours in the mail yet? You will anytime now because I made
Okay.
it last
I'm
week.
excited. I'm
I'm
excited.
surprised you haven't got it yet. But so I sent everybody out a print from the session. They had access to the digital downloads of everything, but I actually printed out and I wrote in light language and I wrote a little message and I sent it to everybody as part of the retreat. So I
Oh,
do
I
that
love
as part of the soul journey. So yeah, so it's been just a beautiful marriage of my life as a photographer and my passion as somebody that really wants to have that full expression of my soul, and to really, shine what my gifts are, because I think it's really important. And I think, both of us really connected on that sense of creativity, right? Like
that. Yeah.
to have that spiritual expression through creativity.
Yep. And I really feel like we all have that ability to access our creativity from the divinity within. It's just a matter of like some of us reach it in like reaching it in different ways. And some of us I feel like are meant to be like guides. And I feel like that's kind of what you and I are, or we have this ability to guide people into that space, which is why I call this, kind of like bridging dimensions, bridging realms, because we're able to connect with ourselves in the spiritual realms and then bring that through writing, painting, it could be sculpture, and then being able to have that ability to imagine, see, sense, and bring that whole experience that's happening on another realm through to our bodies and then out is just such a magical thing. I feel like it's a magical thing, and I feel like we both enjoy like sharing that with other people, to share that we all can experience that. I feel like many people are waking up to that. What do
Mhm.
you say? And I'd love to hear, and I want to say hello to everyone. I just want to take a moment to acknowledge everyone. Hi, Crystal, Arcot, Sam. I saw some other people here, and it's hard to see. I saw David, and thank you all. And so I'm just curious, how did you first start to you know, bridge between like your spiritual experience into the writing? Is it through the automatic writing?
Yes, so it was definitely many, many years ago. I read an amazing book called The Artist's Way, and it's an older book now, but it's really, if you haven't read it, you should really, really, really spend time. And there's a few things it talked about. It really was geared toward the artist. And again, I think what Dina and I talking about bridging the realms, or understanding that we're all artists, right? We're all creatives, and we create with the divine, and that's the expression that we have. So I read that book many, many years ago, and it talks about morning pages in the book, which is right, which is what you do is three pages ideally of automatic writing. I don't think she ever called it automatic writing, but that's what it is. And then you basically pen or pencil on the paper, and basically never let the pencil leave the paper. So you just keep writing. And one of the exercises is it helps silence that inner critic that we have, especially when we want to have that creative expression. So that's kind of really was my the diving board that I jumped off of, and from there, I would always write. I would go into meditation or silence my mind, and then I would write. So it was just a habit, and I do realize that when I started doing that, that my photography got so much better. Like
Oh, really?
I connected to a real deeper part of me. And I think what we do is, like, that's why I love the idea of bridging the realms, because our full expression of our soul we think sometimes we're that small self, and that we have that self-imposed limitations of our small self, but our soul, our great divinity, our oversoul, is just our over being, I like to call it, is just so excited to be here and be informed and to experiencing everything and to create and create, having children, create by drawing, create by everything in life is an expression of creativity. And I think people like put a labels like I'm an artist because I'm a drawer, I'm an artist because
Right.
I'm an artist because I sculpt. But we're all artists, and our reality, our life is our tapestry, is our canvas, right? Is our
Yep.
canvas. Our life is
Yep.
our canvas.
Yep. Yep. I've been saying that. I've been saying that very same thing. We are the artists of our own life. We're the director. We're the main character. We are the producer. We are, you know, and we are the painter, and like I used to liken the imagery of, imagine you are a canvas, right? And when you're born, you have a new canvas. And I just want to take a moment. I can't figure out the YouTube thing. I honestly, this is the first time I'm ever streaming, trying to like attempted to stream to multiple channels. And it looks like it only actually streaming to LinkedIn. So
Yeah, it's not on Facebook either, but we'll just repost it.
I'm not worried about it, but I just saw Crystal had mentioned that. So maybe I'll get a lesson in the future on how to actually do this. But this is the
Anyhow,
thing.
who
Hey,
cares?
well, you gotta, and that's the thing, like where am I going with this? So many thoughts. So like there's such freedom to looking at your life as like, okay, my life is like a canvas. And as I'm going, I'm adding layers, I'm adding new colors, I'm adding new texture, I'm adding new feeling, new intention, new layers. And so nothing is a mistake. And
Yeah.
so through the artistic process of making a painting, okay, so maybe you made a swirl and you're like, you know what? I could just freaking paint over that. And then you move on and you're like, oh, well, maybe that wasn't a mistake. Maybe I needed that layer there for me to see what's possible, for me to add the other layer that I wouldn't have added if I didn't make that so-called mistake. And oh, thank you. And so there, part of the reason that we're doing this event is like to really open up the perception of those who are in that process of their creation, and like how to really anchor in their creator, and to be able to value their expression, value that it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be gallery. Like making art could just be a moment of you sitting with yourself and letting out what wants to be expressed through yourself. And it could be, it doesn't have to have any judgment. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be ugly. It could be stick figures. It could be swirls. It could be circles. It could just be you just going like this and just getting it out, moving the energy. And maybe you'll wind up and you'll be receiving light language, light codes, and just being able to be in a space of feeling heard and seen and valued.
Yes, I think that's so beautiful. So I loved it. I'm sorry, I got distracted by a message, but I love everything that you've said, and especially about that. Again, so important. And I just want to say again, there are no mistakes. And I loved how you said that thing, that layer, and I love that you said the layer, because visually the layer that you thought was a mistake, or for instance, the wrong decision in life. Maybe you took a right instead of a left, but it's just another layer that you just add on, and it just brings depth to your experience.
Yeah. And okay. Being a channel for creative expression, has been so freeing and healing to me. And one of my biggest joys is witnessing someone who didn't think that they were creative or artistic look at their painting that they didn't even think that they can do, but they did, and they allowed, because they allowed their expression to come through, because they were in a space to relax and trust, and trust themselves to flow. And then it's like, oh my God, like if we just can get out of our heads and into our bodies and
Mhm.
allow our higher self, our soul, our inner child, our inner dragon, our inner fairy to just,
Exactly.
it's something that's so freeing and healing to play. And I'm just going to show you one of my things, okay? So this is layers and layers and layers.
Right.
And I don't know, one person may think it's just a garble juggle blah, 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 of like who knows what, and another person can see such beauty. I love it because it's fun and it makes me feel happy. But like, yeah, art is love. And so I I wanted to express that I feel like art has so many words, like so many there's so many preconceived notions and 3D, like things that people have been taught of what art is and what art is not, rather than allowing that free expression of their emotions.
Yes. You're absolutely right. And I think that what you said and you touched upon is like we need to move out of the thinking mind and go into the feeling heart. To make and think of ourselves as an instrument to create, like through the downloads, through the meditations, the activations, getting into that mindset, and you actually become the instrument. You become an extension of that divinity, that flow that moves through your fingertips. um Sorry.
I love it. No, but hey, no sorries here. This is
And
a
yeah, no
joyful
stories here, no stories here.
zone.
And I think that too, that I always say to people when I'm teaching them photography that there's no right or wrong photograph, right? Well, you have to say, do you think the photograph conveys your emotion, your experience, and your passion? What is it that what is the visual narrative that you're trying to say? And then you just look at it. And a lot of people, especially the thing with photography that's different than art, that I have to say is photography is so instant that people are ready to delete, 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 right? When they don't think they've had a successful photograph. Where painting, I think, because I did take painting classes before, and it was really kind of challenging for me as somebody as a photographer, because I was like, ding, 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 photo, photo, pick, quick, 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 quick. Well, with the canvas, I had to slow down. I had to just allow myself to paint and maybe walk away a little bit. Have that little emotional distance if we're still in our head. Come back to it. Breathe. Look at it. Maybe close your eyes. Do a little painting, then come back to it. Where photography is so much about like eyes open. Like I had a big shoot today. I keep saying my third eye is very sore because I was shooting with three eyes. So it's the same thing. It's like, I think that's why I really love, that we're doing this at my house called, River Song House up in Saugerties, because I think the fact that we're both going to be doing activation meditation, speaking light language, to get people in that mind state to move out of their thinking mind and into the feeling heart, because the thinking mind is really what kind of creates self-imposed limitations on what we can do.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll tell you, like, that's why I go to art so much, to help me process and get out of my brain, is because I can get in that, I don't know about you, but I can get in a rumination zone, And the only thing to stop me from the rumination zone is for me to sit down and paint, get some music on, get the paint out, get the brushes on, get the music on, and start little bit. And I just and something I just wanted something I wanted to share with you. And I saw you, Lily. I saw you. And oh wow. Crystal, yeah, you gotta connect with Kellie. You gotta connect with Crystal.
Yes.
We're working on something together.
I'm
So
new on LinkedIn, so I'm just learning how to connect to
yeah, this is the beginning, girl. This is the
he is
beginning.
helping me.
There's something I wanted to tell you. I gotta show you some of my photographs that I did. So I think you might find this fun, and I just got an idea that maybe we can do this at a later date. But I used to take photographs and I would do staging, and this was more in college, okay? But I would make like sculptures, like my friend and I did this. We did these black and white photographs, and we made masks, and we did all these photographs with this mask, and we got really playful. And then we then photographed it, and when we were in a dark room, we really like overexposed it. We're really playing with the exposure, and then I took some of these photographs and I mounted them and then I painted on them.
I would love that. So I've always wanted to do that. My biggest dream is there's a great photographer that just did this book, but I would love to, like, I want to print big and then paint on it. But I've been trying to find how to print on a canvas I could paint on, and like with
I can help
resin.
you with that.
Oh, good, with resin. I want resin so I can make it thick and all that.
Yeah.
But another thing too is if people have taken a bunch of photographs or have prints, another thing I want to do is deconstruction. Let's take those photographs and rip them up. Take them, rip them up, and then make a collage any way you want. Paint them and then paint over them. That could be fun.
I think that'd be so much fun. In fact, I feel like that would be taking our creative thing to a whole other level.
Yeah,
Playing with that.
to construct. I think it's beautiful. It's like, rebirth, death, rebirth, experiment, having that in a creative, actual physical form that we're actually creating, and seeing that, you can deconstruct.
Yeah.
It's okay. And it just allows, it's just like in life, when, people, obviously, when they go on their spiritual path and they've been awakened and they start to see things a little bit different, a lot of things fall away in their lives, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's so funny.
Friends.
Yeah, I totally agree. And sometimes, you have an image of a painting that you want to paint and you start to paint it. And then that painting doesn't turn out like that. But that image got you going, and then it took you to a whole other place, which is kind of also in that kind of bridging realms. It's like I get this image of my head of something I want to do, something I want to paint. I want to tell you something. Oh my gosh. Okay, everyone, you got to hear this. This is the beauty of collaboration, because we don't always know how to do things, but then we meet someone else that knows how to do that thing or has the skills, right? So, I told you about my friend Julie. So my friend Julie and I are creating this art show together that's in Troy. That's going to be in December. And we have a studio together that she got for us. We have a studio in Troy that the owner of the building is gifting us rent-free.
Wow. That's amazing.
It's such a beautiful synergy of people coming together. And I said to her, listen, I have this image from the guided meditation that, okay, cool. And I said, I forgot how to paint realistically. I don't paint realistically, but I want to do this painting of me as an elven fairy with my 2 dragons. The image that you gave me from your activation of me with the dragons on either side of me and the dragon eggs in my hands. I want that painting. I want that as a painting.
Yeah.
but because of the way that I paint now, I'm like, okay, there's either I go and I channel an artist that I want to channel their style and I bring in their energy for them to guide me, and then I can paint like them, which I've never really tried doing, but I did do it. I paint, a lot of people tell me that my paintings are like Picasso, some of them. And anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent. So hello everyone. So I said to Julie, I really want to channel this painting that has me and my dragons from this imagery from Kellie's retreat. And she's like, you know what, Dina? We can do this. She's going to help me get the more figurative, realistic aspects out on canvas. And
I
then
love
we're
that.
going to fill it in and bring in my style and we're going to co-create the painting.
I love that. I love that.
And
I see, when you say and you talk about that, I see in my mind, in my heart, that imagery. Like I go back to that time when we did the activation meditation. I think they were eggs first and then they were born, right? In your hands, if that
I
was
thought
right.
they were there and then they became eggs.
Okay, I know there was eggs somehow in
They
there.
were eggs, but
And I
this
never
is like
remember my meditations after I'm done, so I tell people to record them.
I know. I wish I was, but you know what? The thing is,
Except your
I
name,
think that if I
Sata.
would have recorded it, I wouldn't have lodged it in my mind.
That's
So,
true.
and I can go there. And I think that's what we also mean by bridging realms is like we can also quit through these guided meditations, go into these places where all these things are possible, and then we can bring and draw that energy in through our bodies, and then draw them, paint them, create them, and bringing them into fruition. Well, that was a mouthful, but it's like, yeah, and that's why we're so excited about this event because like it's also to see what people create and like for them to see and experience what they can do that maybe they didn't even know was possible for them.
Exactly. It's a 1 day amazing workshop for us to really kind of, I'm going to do a guided meditation activation, working with the elven realm. I connect very much into the inner earth, and I have channeled so much about what we call dimensions, but really which are octaves of specific sound frequencies that creates reality. So like each dimension really is an octave of sound, and the first one is, in our minds we think the first one is lower and not as good as the high ones, but each has a specific reality and a timeline for an expression of our soul's expression. And the second dimension is the elven dragon fey realm, which is connected in the inner earth to that second octave. And so I will be bringing people there through my meditation and light language, and then really have them start to work on the automatic writing first. The doodling, writing into doodling. So that was just going to be kind of like the gateway in, right? And then we're going to have you do your meditation activations, and that's when we're going to have the painting come out, the canvases come out. So we're going to take it from the writing to the doodling to the painting to have that soul artistic expression. And it's like, and like there's no mistakes, and just think of the layers. And I love the word texture. When you said texture, I just get little tingles because I love texture. Like texture in life is so good, right? So let's
I
have
love it.
so like
I'm going to show you this one. I mean, even though we're going to be doing watercolor painting at the event, I just want to be able to show you this.
yeah,
Like
beautiful.
it could be, you see,
Yeah, I love that
and you can like go in, and I feel like we could do this with the watercolors as well, because I've done it. And there'll be time to is doing a little bit of playing with the paint and playing with the texture of the paint and like building up on it and scratching away and
love that.
doing stuff like that and just really playing and experimenting. And I feel like I'll be bringing in dragon energy, and and the dragons can be really helpful with creativity and also bringing in like healing frequencies to move through the body and just like anchoring in these high frequency codes that are, for the soul, to be ignited with what's already within, because I feel like we all have these codes in our DNA, and it's just a matter of them waking up, being like, okay, being activated. And I feel like being in a place of joy and freedom, and in an energy where all is possible, and you're being held in sacred space, like beautiful things happen. And I think it's also great to have all this time to be able to connect in person.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
like that's why I loved your event. When we got to sit around and eat and talk and connect, and with the Rorita Kariasaki. So I love that. So we were gonna share with everyone. Hi everyone, thanks for coming in. I love
Hi,
it.
everybody.
Um,
I don't know how to reply to anybody, but I'll just say hi.
I don't either. I think us talking and responding to them is cool. Hi Arca and Steven. We also wanted to extend a special discount. And yep. Oh, I love that, Cesar. We're all programmed and wired differently, and we embrace each other on bridge the gaps and connect the dots together. I love that. Yeah, that's beautiful. We thought, as a gratitude for all the people that are coming in, joining in this conversation, we would offer a special discount code for the event. And it's going to be in Saugerties, New York.
I'm back.
At River Song. Oh, by the way, I was listening to a River song earlier.
Oh, you were?
Have you ever heard of FIA? F as in Frank, IA?
No.
Okay, hold on. I got to introduce you to this really quickly. Hopefully you can hear it. Let me know if you can hear it. My friend told me to listen to this before. It's called River Song.
I love it.
It's called River by FIA. Here, let's see. Let me know if you can hear it.
If you can put it.
Can you hear it?
I can hear it.
No?
I can hear it.
Oh, good. Okay, you gotta hear this. A little musical interruption, everyone. I went down to the river. I needed to hear her sing.
Everybody else?
Nice? And I asked her to wash away.
I love it. I'm gonna have to look that up.
You gotta hear it. Yeah, you gotta hear this girl.
I've been carrying the world on my shoulders.
We're gonna play that at the retreat.
Okay, yeah, we will. Okay.
We'll have a special playlist for the retreat.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna add it to my playlist. Oh, by the way, I was listening to Quincy Jones, his song Libra, Where the World, Where to Go. Oh, interesting. Huh. Song is such a beautiful catalyst too, having the right music, the frequencies, like just so for FIA, I'll tell you, this artist FIA, I don't know, when you find an artist that just their lyrics and their music just speak to your soul.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's like music is so powerful that way. Really, again, that's another way to get out of the mind.
Oh, totally. I mean, I find that singing songs like really help me to reframe situations and have a sense of humor about them.
That's perfect. You got to whatever you can do to reframe. That's my favorite. Reframe.
It's so funny. Well, yeah, so we're talking. I got off topic. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We're talking about our event. We're talking about bridging realms. We're talking about channeling. We're talking about being conduits of creativity, and the art is, the creative expression can be done really in any way. But I feel like writing, like, oh my God, I'm just gonna tell you, like, writing is an art that I just don't have. Okay. So Oh, by the way, that language is called light language. It's a language of light or soul language. It's not like a translatable language. It's more something to be felt in your heart, not
Yeah,
not
exactly.
and we had Lily on here. Lily, who's really talks a lot about light language on LinkedIn now. Lily's a friend that I told you about that you gotta check out. And I also want to introduce you to I have quite a few friends that have podcasts. So do you have a podcast?
I do. I do. I have. It's called The Teacher and the Mystic, and I do it with my friend Jackie, who has been a spiritual teacher for over 30 years, and we have 6 episodes up on Spotify. And she moved to Spain and came back, so we've kind of taken a little hiatus of it. So we're gonna. There's a great one on dimensions. That everything I've downloaded on dimensions. There's ascension symptoms, dimensions.
Oh
We have a lot of
wow.
really great subjects, but in regards to light language, it's the language of frequency and sound and energy, and it bypasses the human mind and really connects directly into your heart. And it helps kind of trigger those latent DNA, the carbon base, to connect to a crystallized base DNA. And a lot of people sometimes people sound like it's so. I gotta just tell you this one. I don't really often do light language, like when I'm on a Facebook. Like I do morning raw, which is me coming out of download and just saying whatever on my mind. And I don't often speak light language, but one day I did. I started speaking light language, and then my sister-in-law and her
Wow.
and her son, my nephew, call me up. They're like, Kellie, when did you start speaking first Native American language? They thought it was,
Oh, that's funny.
Native American language. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. It's light language.
That's so awesome. Well, it's funny because some of my light language sounds Native American. I speak a lot of different dialects. Hi, Stephen. Oh, yeah, definitely. Um, I love for everyone to share what their podcasts are so we can like listen to each other's,
Yeah.
I would get like a list, a directory. And I love that because let me share with you. Hey, get out of your head, Dina. Get out of your head. Get in your body. You love languages. Yeah. So this is like we were saying, it's something that is within you, and it's a matter of like being open to having it be reawakened within you. You would consider yourself an activator, right, Kelly?
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like when
So,
you're around someone like Kelly or myself or Lily, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
okay.
Get excited. And that we can even, we can wind up somehow our frequencies can awaken that light language, that ability to speak that soul language
The soul
within
language.
you.
Right.
Or you go to someone like one of us and we do a session where we assist you with clearing and opening up with any blockages or resistance to tuning in and connecting
Right.
with the frequency, the ability to express it. Now, I do want to share with you that writing, I don't know, did you start with writing or speaking?
Well, when I was in my 20s, I was a born again Christian, and I was slain with the Holy Spirit and spoken tongues. So I've always, since I was 22, been able to speak in tongues or light language. I just, in the one in my retreat in September was all about activating light language. It was called the embodied breath. And we really helped, again, removing that inner critic. And a lot of people like feel kind of funny and embarrassed, and they think they're doing it wrong. But the thing is, I was given the information that we have 2 throat chakras, and we have a high throat that's connected to the vagus nerve and the 0 point chakra, which is in the back of the head right here. So this whole area is really considered another throat. It's a vehicle of communication, and it connects to the vagus nerve which I was told becomes our third energetic vocal cord. So the vagus nerve, which does an incredibly amount of in your physicality of your body, regulating hormones. I'm not a vagus nerve expert, but I just know that when you start speaking a light language, that's the vehicle that where the light can come, and it actually creates our abilities to speak. And there's many ranges from a guttural, like when I started, I sounded very guttural, to like higher angelics, dolphin, animal. You sound very, when you stop, you sound very like dove and kind of the blue avian galactic beings. Okay, we're going down that wormhole. You sound very blue avian when you start kind of with that birdy thing, the bird kind of voice. And so I think you just have to open up and practice, just like a lot of good things. If you know about the chakras and the seed sounds of the chakras, you can find that online. There's a sound for each chakra. That's a good way to start, like just repeating those, because they're just one syllable words. And that will help maybe kind of, you just practice with that, and then you do it you just do it. And then at the end of the last root syllable, you just allow whatever comes out of your mouth. There you go.
Oh, I love that.
There's a little tip for light language. There you go. If you can speak light language after this, please let us know.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I want to listen to this again. Oh, Burkos area helps in languages. Interesting. Burkas.
What's Burkas?
I don't know. I'm coughing all of a sudden. I started getting all these really cool responses to our conversation.
I know, I can see them. So it's awesome. And, so we have so much to share. We're doing a workshop on connecting to the inner earth realms, the dragon realms, to open up that creative expression, to be the bridge from like before we get online, Dean and I was talking about meditation is not just sitting. When you sit and you quiet, they say meditation is when God talks to you, and prayer is when you talk to God, right? So when you're in this kind of quieting your mind and raising your frequency to receive, that's not all meditation. Meditation is a walking meditation. Meditation is your life. Creativity and how you express it is a form of meditation, right? And but when we are there helping you open up to that creative flame in your heart, you might all of a sudden start speaking light language, because you got Dina and I there. We got I'm a portal activator. She's an activator. So you never know what's going to happen.
You never know what's going to happen. It's a form of psychobiology. Oh, interesting. Well, I wanted to share before we forget that we're offering a special price to those who are here watching the live or the replay. That will be available until Friday, and the energy exchange is the full energy exchange is $222. However, if you're watching this live and you're watching a replay of this live and you decide to say, yes, I want to come, and you register by Friday, your energy exchange will be 175 instead. Is that what you said? 175?
We did 175. Yeah.
So I think we'll share a code to make that happen. So just if you watch this and you're like, yes, I want to travel there, I want to spend a day with you, let's do this. You can message me or Kelly via LinkedIn, and we'll get you that code.
That's right. And if you want to pay through Venmo or Zelle, we can just do it that way instead of the Eventbrite link as well.
Yes, yeah. You just send us a message. Either should they message you at Kelly, your Kelly?
Well, do the Divine Hive one, the new one, because I've been spending more time on that one.
Oh, good. And that's Kelly? Does it show up as do people look you up as Divine Hive? The Divine Hive?
Divine Hive. So I have a Kellie Walsh one, which is the Kellie Walsh photography. And then I have the Divine Hive, which I've never been a LinkedIn person, so this is kind of all new for me. So just, reach out to both of us. So one of us will get back.
Exactly. We'll sort it out. We'll sort it out. But, it's just a expression of gratitude for you showing up to be part of this conversation. And you know what? If you're too far to drive but you want to fly, that's cool too.
Yeah.
But or you want to share, share it out. We appreciate sharing is caring, as they say, right? um what else do we want to share while
Well,
we're all
do
here?
you want to ask if anybody has any questions?
Yeah, does anyone have any questions?
Do you know how to open up
You
the
got the whole hosting thing down too.
mic?
And we're gonna say, everyone have any questions? Well, we can also mention, while we're waiting for anyone to ask question, we also mention that you're having another soul alchemy retreat in January.
Yes, we
as
are. So
well.
the 17th to the 20th. This time we're going to actually do Friday to Monday because it's a long
That's
weekend.
smart.
And because it's winter, if it snows, we're going to work out kind of a snow, date just in case. And so it's going to be kind of the same programming. It's going to be Angel, myself, and Nixa. Nixa does soul collage.
Right.
You weren't there, but she's so cool. You just
cool.
You take 4x6s and you do collage work with stuff torn out from a magazine. But what's really beautiful about it, soul collage, more than a vision board or anything like that, is when you're finished, you go into small circles and you have a list of 6 questions about what the card has to teach you. So somebody will read you the questions, and then you have to answer it. And it's based on just tapping into your own intuition, which is beautiful. So we have that. I'll be doing the inner earth work with the chakras. Angel will be doing. I'll be doing also a light language meditation. She's going to do the same the same thing that she did last time, the shamanic vision. And then soul portraits. So it's going to be a great weekend. Catered delicious food, right?
Yeah.
You had the food, right? The last time?
Yeah. It was so good. Oh my gosh. It was so good. Oh, I was like, I stuffed my plate and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm so full. And I'm like, can you put this away in the refrigerator? It was so good. Oh, the song Arcot was called River by the singer Fia. And I don't know how long it would take. It could take days or weeks to get to New York from India.
Yeah, I think 6 months.
I don't know. But though, Kellie, it might be a good idea at some point. We could do like a Zoom event where people that are like not close enough to New York to drive or fly, we can do like a Zoom event and like like this, but we can do like light language activations and guided meditations and
Yeah, we can do something for the Zoom too. Like I would think we could do Zoom during the workshop, but I think it's just it really complicates when you have when you're trying to do a workshop and you're dealing with tech. I find, that's why I never record my meditations, because I just can't, unless I have somebody there that can push the button and watch it, make sure it's fine.
It's good to have someone. Yeah, it's good to have someone to be like your tech person, where like you don't have to worry. All you do is show up and you do you, and you have someone else help with the tech part. But I've been doing, Zoom events, Facebook Live events more, because when I started, it was COVID. So, quote, it was the cocoa. I call it the cocoa. That's my code name for that time where we couldn't go out and meet people without a hassle.
Yeah.
And now that's why I'm like, after 2 years of that, I'm like, come on, we got to get together with people. We got to be in each other's energy. We got to hug on each other. We got to love each other. And I'm going to tell you, when it started, that started the weekend after I went to my first women's empowerment retreat, where I was like ready to go and come out and be me and be authentically me and just be like, I'm ready to be loud and just be as weird as I want to be in public. Sorry, can't do that now. You got to go home and be at home and work from home and be at home for 2 years.
Just think it
And you know
it
what
was
I
an
said, everyone?
incubator. It was
What?
it was your incubator. It was
Here's
your
an incubator. I'll tell you though, and you know
was
what?
your
I had my
cocoon.
first art show scheduled, and I was gonna have my first solo art show at a cafe that June. Of course, it got canceled, but sorry, don't know when it's gonna get. We wound up doing it 2 years later, and you know what? It was perfect because I had spent 2 years painting like
Yeah,
a bat out of hell.
there you go.
And then by the time I got invited to have an art show at this cafe, I already had I had more art than I had space for.
That's great. Perfect.
Anyway.
Perfect. So yeah, no, so yeah, I obviously couldn't do anything during that period, but as soon as I could, I went back out. So, there you go. But
Yeah, like what
like
it's like
I have a Patreon page because of COVID, actually, because
oh
I would
really?
go to my office every day and a YouTube station and do like a 20-minute meditation every day at 444 from my office in Nyack. I would walk to my office in Nyack. During the middle of COVID, I didn't care. Like nobody was around, and if people were walking, everybody's head was down, like this, and I would be like looking at him, like, "Look at me, look at me." It's okay. Look, you can look at me. I'm not. You're not going to get COVID by looking at me. And so yeah, so I spent a lot of time recording tons of meditation, which you'll find on YouTube, and a Patreon page, which I have not revisited in like a year. So I got to do something about that Patreon because those were the vehicles I used during COVID. So there you go.
Yeah, I did a lot then too. And what's funny though, it's like, life gives you lemons. What do you do with them?
Right,
You
exactly.
create something with it. So anything else? One last call for questions.
Yeah, and then I think we're gonna
We'll wrap it up.
wrap it up. But I'm so glad we have all these people from your LinkedIn family, which is so amazing and beautiful.
Yeah.
And if anybody has any questions, reach out to either of us. And this was fun,
Yeah.
very fun. And thank you, Dina, for helping me and for introducing me to your peeps. And I'm very excited.
Oh, me too. Well, I'm very excited too. And thank you. And if you guys don't have any questions now and you have questions later, oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love all the responses. I love we got to have this conversation. And we'll log off and feel free to reach out to either one of us, both of us. Let us know if you have any questions, comments. I don't know about you, but I offer a free consultation call, like a kind of like a what do you call it? Like a discovery call, like a coffee chat kind of thing. So, do you have one of those?
I offer, yes, and I offer I also do online now. It's part of the Soul Portrait, but I don't actually do the photography part of it. But I have started to do Galactic Akash Records on Heal List on that account. I have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I do kind of a guided activation meditation, and then I receive information, and then a chance to do Q&A and just to help you where you're at. So I just started offering that. So the Divine Hive, you can find that on the Divine Hive, and also this thing called the Healist, HEALIST, which is an amazing free platform that has tons of amazing healers and people in the wellness genre.
I joined. I joined. That's awesome. Congratulations
it's like LinkedIn for spiritual people.
Well, you know what though? Just so you know, Kelly, you can put the links.
How do I put it? Like, I can't see how I can make a comment.
I'm not here after we're off live.
Oh.
Go back into the event there's comments in there in LinkedIn, and you can put the links in the comments.
Okay, very good.
And I'll also show you where if you want help with it, we can do another Zoom where I show you where in your LinkedIn where you can put your links so people can book a session with you.
Okay, yeah. Help.
Yeah, I'm still learning too. I got Crystal. We can also have Crystal in here.
Where are you? Where'd you go? You went to go eat. Come back.
I know she's Lily, but she messaged you, so I'm sure she's. Yeah, we'll connect. But anyway,
Well,
thank you,
so much.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone. It's been amazing. And yeah, thank you so much. Oh.
Bye.
Bye, Ann. Talk soon.
Bye. Thank you. Oh.